Please make some noise for.
That would be me, Ryan Neff, here with Early Eating Sports Buffet with the Ginch. Taste the victory, savor the night. I always say. Here, fade in and out. We are having storms here. Hopefully not, but obviously me. I see him in the green room. Good on the show on. It's probably storming down there as well. That's Mr. Jacob Christner. And again, we're having technical difficulties as that is again. Again, it is storming here. There he is.
Hey,
can you hear it? You can hear me?
The Early Evening Sports Buffet brought to you by Friskies.
That's right. Like I said, Jacob, good friend to the show here. We're going to talk a little bit about Chicago Bears because you're originally from Chicago, correct?
Quincy, Illinois, but Bears fan all my life. Agitatingly so now, but it's kind of always a Bears fan, but under protest for one player. So
again, you're going to see him cutting in and out, me cutting in and out because, like I said, it is storming here. So again, hopefully we don't lose power, but we'll see. So Jacob, we're 3 weeks away from the start of the season, and I said this like you a couple years ago. When it came to Caleb Williams, I was not sold on Caleb Williams as a college quarterback. Look, the Bears, they whiffed on Jaden Daniels. He's making Chicago look like a fool. Caleb Williams is making them look even worse. I went back and took the stats from last year. Team-wise, the Bears were not good. It can only go here. But again, they are going to have to do something, make a decision. If he struggles the first 3-4 games of the season, I don't dare I say it's going to be a short leash.
let me give you the story of where my agitation with Caleb Williams is. I mean, if I was to say by itself, I just hate the guy and stuff. Well, I just hate the personality he brings out, but you can't hate the guy because you don't know him. You know what I'm saying? But where the agitation is, it's been the last 20 years. It's what happens is in the last 20 years, especially as the internet has gotten bigger, is the Chicago Bears fans. They will start. They don't have a lot of winning the last few years. You know what I'm saying? Since the Ditka years, not a whole lot. I mean, they had like 12 playoff wins. They had like 12 total playoff wins or something along those lines around the Ditka time. You know what I'm saying? 12 total. Not 12 total with him. 6 of the 12 that they've had with Ditka. So it's
right.
So it's one of those. But ever since that time and stuff, the Bears fans tend to have this situation where they will win ball games. They would win it with, say, Kyle Orton. They'd win it with whoever, and all of a sudden, somebody else has one of their buddies. One of the Bears fans' buddies has a flashy quarterback. They have a Tom Brady. They have a Peyton Manning, whatever. And all of a sudden, they want to have one now. So then they shame the Bears shame everybody into trying to get somebody else flashy. They do this thing. So they will shame Kyle Orton, even though they'll be winning most weeks. I mean, he was 21-12.
Right.
So they put in Rex Grossman because it was a nice flashier arm, and yeah, they made a Super Bowl. He also lost it personally. He also lost it firsthand, 5 turnovers by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Which, guess what? It's like that defense would have gotten them through anyway. And when you have 145 yards and a touchdown, that would have been Kyle Orton without the turnovers. So that's the things I'm saying. Then they did that.
Right.
They go back to Kyle. Then the Bears fans want another flashy quarterback. They get Cutler. After 1 year, there was all that. He goes 500. And then instead of getting Watson, and it wasn't Mahomes, it was Watson, they get Trubisky. Okay. By ourselves, I might have picked. I like Trubisky. I might have picked Watson. by itself if it was up to that, considering what we saw. I liked Mitch. I liked him.
Right.
When he went, I liked him. Cool. It's like, but someone like Trubisky is kind of like, I'm just saying, like most of the Steelers times that we see, not this current era, because he was bad there. But I'm talking about, It's like most Steelers wins. 23-20, 2017. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, gets him down the field for that win. But again, the Bears fans want something flashy. So they had to go get Fields and then now Caleb. And this is the thing. They're not winning now. They were ashamed to win the way they did and get 2 out of 3 playoffs. Yeah, they didn't make the thing. All they had to do, absolutely positively, 1,000%, all they had to do was go get somebody that made a difference, that can go to the next level. What did they do? They went to the draft like a 4-win team. And it's been a disaster ever since.
Right.
And it's like, remember what the Broncos did when they had Tebow. Tebow got a division title out of it. Backed into one, but he got a division title out of it. And he got a playoff win. But you know what they did? They didn't go to get a warm body. They got Peyton Manning. And they got their ring. That's all the Bears had to do. But they listened to the fans. And that's where my hate of Caleb Williams is. It's not only is he prissy and ridiculous and stupid, but everybody's looking at all the flashy highlights. He'll watch him this Saturday. He'll have one big throw. And people will play that stupid thing for 4 weeks, even if they're 0-3.
Hey, look, I said throughout his college career I wasn't sold on him. There was many more quarterbacks in that draft that I would take in way ahead of him. Mike Fuji says, "What's good, fellas? Football is among us." Correct, Fuji. We are 3 weeks away from the start of the season. But look, Jacob, it's not like the Bears don't have the pieces around Caleb now, because they do. It's
they're a quarterback away. They're a quarterback away. He's not the quarterback. He's not the quarterback, but they're a quarterback away.
When I went back and took a look at the stats from last year, though, across the board, offensively and defensively, they were terrible. But the defense was terrible because they were on the field so much, because the offense couldn't sustain. They couldn't put together long drives. Look, they were 17th in passing last year. They weren't much better in rushing. But when I looked across the board, again, I go back to the Washington game last year when I can't remember the defensive back was down there giving it to the Washington fans. Washington scores that touchdown.
I forget who too. But yeah, he did. I believe Tyreek Stevenson.
And then the season goes into the shitter. So
you're right. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. You realize that's the second straight 10 loss in a row season in 18 months.
Yep.
This is where I say the fans don't care. There should be mutiny for that. But they don't care because they get their highlights.
So what do you look? It's what it's all going to boil down to. All the focus is going to be on Caleb. Can he take the next step?
No.
I don't think he can. I thought I was high on Justin Fields coming out of college. I thought they did him dirty. I didn't think they really put the pieces around him. Look, Justin Fields was good at the run pass option in college. That's what he was good at. Most coaches today, they will have to tailor their game plan of what they did well in college and mixing in something new every once in a while, Jacob. But this team's going to go as Caleb Williams goes.
They're going to be bad as long as he's the quarterback. But let me tell you, Fields, I'll make more than admit, because see, unlike other people, I don't forget what I did. I wasn't thrilled with him either, but I didn't hate him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hate him personally. He's a good dude. Justin's he's a good man, and everything like that. And he wants my issue with Justin was the fact that you had nothing wrong, that simply I mean, you got to realize at the time 2020 hit. Guess who was a free agent for the rarest times ever? Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady later on, a couple of years later after his retirement, says, "Oh, we were talking to the Bears." So then you see my face right now. Oh, yeah. And it's like, yeah, I knew they were talking to the Bears, but I'm like, it's like, but guess what? When I was saying online, I want Tom Brady, I got laughed at, and people would just show me his, you know what they would show me? They would show me that final interception out of the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
They would show that he's old. Oh, then they would show Cam Newton. Then they'd show Cam Newton highlights. It wasn't just Cam Newton highlights of that year. It was 5 years earlier during his playoff year. Meanwhile, he'd had 2 shoulder surgeries and a foot surgery.
Right.
Everything is flash. Everything is, I want to be entertained. It is not about winning. And it reminds me of 2023 when Bajent came in. Bajent came in, got 2-2 record. He's raw, okay? Bajent's raw. He's going to be raw. But you want to know what these stupid fans said? He's boring. Noodle arm. Meanwhile, 2-2. The Bears don't see that often. And Tyson Bajent is raw. He's raw. He really is. It's like everybody, the moron wants to say noodle arm, but I'm like, he drives the ball to the field, but he makes interceptions. It's like, he's not afraid. He's not afraid to go for it. He's not afraid to try something. He's not afraid to make the thing. And it's like 55%, something I read, 55% of Caleb's sacks weren't even the offensive line's fault. He held it too long.
Right.
He's too afraid. He's too skittish. He's too afraid.
Let me ask you this then. How soon do we see Bajent or Case Keenum get plugged in there? After what week?
If it's what I think, like the 1-4 record, there's gonna. I think it's gonna start getting a little bit loud, a little bit of noise. Mm-hmm. But remember, this ain't Ben Johnson's choice. This was Eberflus, or I like to call Eber COVID. But still, it's. But the biggest thing about it is you brought up the Bears and their pieces. I mean, Colston Loveland's going to be awesome, and I like the idea with him and Cole Kmet. They've got some run game. They've got and you brought up the defense from last year. That defense was not good, but they were better with Eberflus holding it. Alan Williams is a terrible defensive coordinator, but to me, when I saw Eberflus, the way he handled that defense, the way he could, the thing I thought about with him is I wish that the NFL players, the coaches, the players, the NFLPA and the coaches and the unions would allow these guys to be able to be demoted for the same money. Mm-hmm. At least for a year until that's what I would want to negotiate with them. The same money, get demoted. As they choose, they get the same money. And then you do that for 1 year. And then from there on out, you have to negotiate down if they got to stay. You know what I mean? Until that time. But because he was that good. But Dennis Allen's going to be pretty good for the Bears. I mean, they've got players, but they just got somebody who wants to put flowers in his hair and paint his nails.
If you're going to send the 60s music. Yeah, plays in my head when I think of Caleb Williams. So let's look at the schedule before I get you out of here. Look, they open with the Vikings.
The Vikings? The Vikings?
The Vikings, yeah. And I mean, I know it's at home. Williams against McCarthy. We don't know what we're getting with McCarthy. Vikings, I think, are the better team. Then they get the Lions. Then they get the Cowboys. Then the Raiders.
They'll beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys are. I mean, Brian Schottenheimer is not a good choice. I absolutely believe they could go get Duck Hodges away from retirement and win 5 to 6 games with those home games. I believe those home games are ridiculous. But I mean, that's an easy 5. I mean, Caleb would have to be really awful to not go 5-3 or 6-2 at home. It's the fact that
Right.
they're not going to win one road game. Look at that
Yeah.
road schedule.
I mean, they play the Raiders
Yeah.
on the road. Then they get the Commanders on the road. Then they get the Saints at home. They play the Ravens on the road. Then they play the Bengals on the road. Giants, they get them at home. That should be a win.
Yeah.
Then the Bears at the Vikings. Then the Steelers at the Bears. Bears at the Eagles. Bears at the Packers. Browns and the Bears. That could be a win. Packers, Bears, 49ers, Lions, Bears. Not easy.
Those Steelers games, I always say this about every team whatsoever. It's like I said, and I give Tomlin the credit for being this way for so long because it reminds me of Ditka. It is, this is the thing. It's like, I'm not saying that he'll ever win a Super Bowl anymore. No, not really. I think he even got Aaron Rodgers so he could have one playoff win. But I have always said this about Tomlin. In the playoffs, and I think every single team knows this, don't let it get to 10-7 or 13-10. Because he will, because that guy has like 65% winning percentage with those kind of games.
Right.
That guy would slip himself into a Super Bowl and get his butt kicked in the Super Bowl with those kind of scores. He is just the very best at that kind of deal. And I can see the Bears losing a game like that at the very end with Boswell.
So I'm thinking maybe 6-11.
Yeah, 6-11, 5-12. You really have to be more than miserable to not win about 5 or 6 of those home games. I mean, those are some bad teams.
All right, so
don't lose a game to Tyler Shuck in New Orleans.
So you're protecting 5-12. I was going to say 6-11, 5-12, somewhere in there.
Let me say this. I want to see Bajan. I'm okay, and even and if it wouldn't be Bajan, I don't get my way. Sure, Case Keenum. He's gotten to an NFC title game before. Cool, he's got a nice arm. It's got all that, but I loved the Bears against the Bears against Miami. He had a 16-play drive. 89 yards. I said 79 yards. Excuse me. 16 plays, and I'm like, just overall, and I'm like, Bears don't see that. They don't drive the ball. They don't get that. And it's like, I don't care if it doesn't look flashy. I don't care all that kind of stuff. I just want to see the ball continue. Just drive the ball downfield. Quit looking for those big flashy plays all the time.
Yeah, I will say between week 4 and 5, if the Bears are 1-3 or 1-4, Caleb he'll get yanked.
Yeah, Ben's gonna get annoyed. I think he's already. I mean, you know how many in their trying to think there. I mean, in their little pressers, he's always saying, "Well, he is starting to get improved. He's starting it. Well, he's year 2, and to the thing, yeah, he's on his 3rd coaching. I do admit that, but the guy, when you're seeing off seasons and he's putting flour in his hair, and he wants to look he wants to look the feminine, and he wants to do. It's like, how do you know? How can you say that he's going to have an eye of a tiger for this?
Well, he can always go.
I know Bajan would. His dad's only the 17 times arm wrestling champ. I know Bajan would have the guts for it.
And maybe if it doesn't work out in Chicago, maybe Caleb could go try out for the Vikings cheerleader squad.
No. Well, for the thing. No, go to San Francisco. I mean, I say this: trade Purdy for Caleb. Caleb can be right at home.
49ers aren't going to do that, Jake.
I know,
that.
I'm just saying, especially when they gave him the contract. But no, Caleb can be right at home in those areas in the nice rainbow roads.
Jacob, thanks for coming on. Tell the people where they can get a hold of you or see your stuff.
Oh, I'm Jake. Let's see, Jacob Christner on Facebook, Sideline One Sports on TikTok, which is growing right now. It's I am also the Jacob Christner on Instagram. I also have I have a Substack and a Ricochet for my writings, and I do quite a few things.
Jacob, enjoy the season. I will pick your brain if, let's say, the Bears are really sucking out loud.
Oh, they will. As long as he's there. You bet. Take care.
All right, buddy.
Yep.
Have a good one. Jacob Christner, ladies and gentlemen, good friend to the show. Yeah, I anybody who knows me knows that college football is my passion, minus the extracurricular bullshit that goes on with the NIL and transfer portal. They still play the games, and I still enjoy the football. I was not high on Caleb Williams when he was at Oklahoma and when he was at USC. Was very high on Drake May coming out, same class. Bo Nix was better. Jaden Daniels was better. So I feel your pain, Chicago Bears fans. Let's go to some of the top headlines of the day. So the storms have seemed to have subsided as I look out the window. Shador Sanders, he's unlikely to play on Saturday because of an oblique injury. Boo-hoo. Just says here, further medical testing and examination revealed an oblique strain. Sanders is considered day-to-day, but aren't we all? Unlikely to play versus the Eagles on Saturday. Look, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get bumps. You're going to get nicks, oblique strains. Slap some ice on it. Slap the TENS unit on there. Rub a little dirt on it. Little Robitussin. Not Robitussin. What am I thinking of? The old stuff that really stinks. Not Bengay. Absorbine Jr. The Absorbine Jr. works. Stuff stinks, but it works. So obviously they will be cautious with him. The NBA has approved Celtics sale at a record $6.1 billion valuation. This is reported by ESPN. The NBA Board of Governors on Wednesday unanimously approved the sale of the Boston Celtics to a group led by private equity mogul Bill Chisholm. A deal that values the franchise at more than $6.1 billion, the largest ever for an American professional sports team. The league said the transaction is expected to close shortly. When it does, Chisholm will take ownership of at least 51% of the team, with full control coming by 2028 at a price that could bring the total value to $7.3 billion. Numbers that the average person cannot fathom. So it changes ownership. Sad news from the world of the NFL. Ex-Bronco Lionel Taylor. He has passed away at the age of 89. He was the first with 100 catches in a season, by the way. He passed away August the 6th. His family confirmed. This reported by Jeff Legwold of ESPN. Just some facts. He was a member of the 1960 Broncos, the first year the franchise played in the newly formed AFL, and was the first receiver in either AFL or NFL history to have at least 100 catches in a season. He's also believed to have been the first African-American coach to be named coordinator in the NFL. Thoughts and prayers to his family and friends. The Portland Trail Blazers have found a buyer. Team will stay in Portland. Sources say Tom Dundon, who's the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes, so he will have a team on either coast. He's agreed to buy the Portland Trail Blazers from the estate of Paul G. Allen for a valuation of just more than $4 billion. Dundon intends to keep the team in Portland, sources told ESPN. Other members of Dundon's group include Mark Zaire, co-president of Blue Owl Capital, and Sheil Tile, Portland-based founder and co-CEO of Collective Global. So the team stays in Portland. It came out that Jerry Jones says he had no tumors after stage 4 melanoma. Again, I don't wish anything bad on the man. I'm glad he's okay. But until he is gone from the equation, I was a lifelong Cowboys fan, like everybody knows. People always ask me, why did I start rooting for the Cowboys? My dad was a Vietnam veteran. Roger Staubach was a Vietnam veteran. I didn't really have a team that I rooted for. So I just started rooting for the Cowboys because of that. Just reading over this by Todd Archer of ESPN. Jerry Jones said that an experimental trial drug saved his life. He said, I was saved by a fabulous treatment and great doctors and a real miracle drug called PD-1 therapy. I went into trials for that PD-1 and it has been one of the great medicines. I now have no tumors. Jones he said that he was diagnosed in June 2010 and began treatment soon thereafter. He said over the next 10 years, he said he had 2 lung surgeries and 2 lymph node surgeries. Stage 4 melanoma refers to skin cancer that has metastasized to other parts of the body. So, good thing he's okay. We jumped to Major League Baseball. Went over the standings the other day. Scores from yesterday. That would have been Tuesday, August 12th. Mariners beat the Orioles 1-0. Guardians beat the Marlins 4-3. Reds beat the Phillies 6-1. Yankees beat the Twins 9-1. Blue Jays beat the Cubs 5-1. Mets all over the Braves 13-5. White Sox beat the Tigers 9-3. Brewers blanked my Pirates 14-0. Just pathetic. Royals over the Nationals 8-5. Rockies over the Cardinals 3-0. Diamondbacks over the Rangers 3-2. Red Sox hammered the Astros 14-1. Angels over the Dodgers 7-6. Padres over the Giants 5-1. And the Athletics over the Rays 6-0. Full slate today, my friends. Earlier today, the Tigers beat the White Sox 1-0. Brewers beat the Pirates 12-5. My Pirates just flat out suck. And they've sucked for the longest time. They have been in the suckosphere, and they have been suspended in the suckosphere for I can't tell you how many years. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. Ownership needs to do something, or Major League Baseball needs to step in. Get somebody in there as an owner who cares, knows the culture. Just horrible. Nationals beat the Royals earlier today, 8-7. Rockies over the Cardinals, 6-5. Diamondbacks over the Rangers, 6-4. The Padres over the Giants, 11-1. Right now, top of the 6th, Reds over the Phillies, 1-0. Delayed down there in Baltimore, probably because of the rain, 0-0. Top of the 3rd, Marlins over the Guardians, 4-1. Rain delay in New York between the Yankees and the Twins. Mid-2nd, Cubs Blue Jays scoreless. Rain delay with the Mets and the Braves. Bottom of the 1st, Astros over the Red Sox 1-0. Later on, Dodgers at the Angels, Rays at the Athletics. And I was talking about the standings. Some teams that are in trouble or who had a decent lead in their division. The Mariners have caught fire. They have caught the Astros. They are now tied for 1st. Padres now lead the National League West by half a game over the Dodgers. The Dodgers have sort of shit the bed the last 10 games. They're 4-6 their last 10. The Padres are 8-2. So the Dodgers on a little bit of a slide. Brewers have taken control of the American League Central. They are right now the hottest and best team in baseball. But again, I need to see it in the playoffs. Excuse me, from the Brewers. The Mets obviously continue their slide. The Phillies have taken control of the National League East. Tigers still have a grasp on the American League Central, and the Blue Jays sort of have leveled out but they still hold a 4.5 game lead out in the American League East. Other than the NBA news I just gave you, nothing really. Well, let me go through some other stuff. Michael Porter Jr. has come out and said that the sports betting impact is only going to get worse. And I found this interesting. Listen. Porter said on the One Night with Steiny podcast this week, the enjoyment of the game isn't for the game anymore. It's so that people can make money. In reality, way more people are losing money than making money. Remember, Porter's younger brother, Jonte, was banned from the NBA in 2024 for his role in a gambling scheme. This is reported by David Purdom of ESPN. He went on to say, think about it. If you could get all your homies rich by telling them, yo, bet 10 grand on my under this one game. I'm going to act like I've got an injury and I'm going to sit out. I'm going to come out after 3 minutes. And they all get a little bag because you did it just one game. He said that is so not okay, but some people probably think like that. They come from nothing, and all their homies have nothing. Went on to say, we really do get death threats. He said that he wonders what would happen if an unhinged gambler physically attacked an athlete. He also said that players are in a no-win situation with bettors because they are always messing up either the over or under on prop bets that have become increasingly popular as legal sports betting has spread across the nation. I said this 5 years ago. Just going to run into more and more of this. Amazon has announced its 17-game NBA Cup, the NBA Cup, schedule on Prime Video. October 31st, the Bostons will play the Philadelphias, and the Memphises will play the Los Angeles Lakers. November 7th, the Spurs will play the Rockets, and then the Warriors will play the Nuggets. On November 14th, Miami visits New York. Golden State will visit San Antonio. On November 21st, Cleveland will host Indiana. Denver will host Houston. On November 28th, Milwaukee will travel to New York. And the Lakers will host Dallas. And a partridge in a pear tree. NBA Cup, dumb. Don't understand it. More NFL news. I didn't see anything major. Now I saw the whole Michael Penix fight thing with the Titans. It's whatever. It happens almost every practice, almost. Just whatever. You like to see the fight. Jerry Jones has basically said what's preventing the Parson talks? Basically nothing. What's he going to say? James Cook got some bag. He reached a 4-year, $48 million extension with the Buffalo Bills. Is good for him. Let's see what else. WNBA. Scores from yesterday. Wings beat the Fever in a good one, 81-80. Liberty all over the Sparks, 105-97. Today, Sky and the Sun. The Sun are beating the Sky 27-21. Just tipping off the Valkyries and the Mystics at 7-4 early Valkyries. Later on, Liberty at the Aces. The Dream are at the Storm. Atlanta Dreams, Jordan Canada. She's out at least 2 weeks with a hamstring injury, unfortunately. Oh, that sucks. They need her. What else? Again, the English Premier League kicks off this weekend, starting on Friday. Went through a whole lot of NCAA football news yesterday. On Monday. The student body right. Just looking over like the ticker to see if anything has come across breaking news. Nothing that I've seen. For you golf jabronis like me. This week, the BMW Championship out there in Owings Mills, Maryland, Caves Valley Golf Club. That'll be kicking off tomorrow. LPGA out there in Portland, Oregon, and Columbia Edgewater Country Club, the Standard Portland Classic. The Champions Tour, they're in Calgary, the Canyon Meadows Golf and Country Club, Rogers Charity Classic. And in Live, they are at the club at Chatham Hills in Westfield, Indiana, the Live Golf Indianapolis. So I think that's going to do it for today. Again, enjoy before it starts storming again. It's looking kind of iffy out there now again. Like I end every program, practice compassion, practice empathy, have passion for what you do. Hug somebody today. Or tonight, you might make their day. Tell somebody you love them. You might not get a second opportunity. And for God's sakes, if you see somebody struggling, ask what's bothering them. Ask questions, inquire. You might just be saving a life. So, with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. Dandy Don, take me out.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.